Story 1. Here are the lottery numbers for the next 20 years. Go ahead and wreck the economy. There is no fucking difference. Story 2. When my therapist asked me this, I was stumped because nothing I could say would prevent the pain and suffering I was facing. Then I realized what I would say. I know it is hard right now. You feel hopeless and alone. I am very sorry, and it may stay that way for the next 7 years. But you will get through it. Not only will you get through it, you will thrive. You will be happy and strong, will have a great career, and will have a lot of love in your life. It gets better. Just hang on. Story 3. Move out of the house as soon as possible. It will not get better. Story 4. Me at age 18 asked, "What the hell were you thinking when you did all that?" Me at age 55 replied, "Because I thought if I only live once, why not?" Story 5. You may never reconcile what happens after death, but you will become so tired of trying that it will fade. You will have years of joy and sadness, and in old age you will look back and decide that, overall, things worked out for the best and it was a life worth living. Story 6. To monitor my brother so I can save him from suicide. Story 7. Please do not take those pills. They will cause serious harm, and the consequences may affect you for some time. Story 8. Stop chasing validation from others, especially men. Focus on yourself, your brain, and your happiness. Story 9. One message? If I alone could choose the punctuation, I am confident I could compress a wealth of information, lists, examples, and practical advice into a single sentence to send to my past self, enough to increase his chances of success by giving him perspective instead of leaving him confused by pedantic rambling and by a culture focused on instant meme images rather than the long, playful paragraph jokes we used to enjoy. If the message is only allowed to be one sentence. Edit. I told my wife the premise and her immediate response was, "You be nice to him. She knows me." Story 10. You are doing fine and are a survivor. Stop chasing your dad. It will never get better. Story 11. Invest. Do not pursue a degree in English and philosophy, however easy you find it. Cut your mother completely out of your life now. In about 3 years there will be a girl called Jacqueline and you will need to be more patient than I was. Do not mess it up. Story 12. Do not be so upset that you cannot have children with your first husband. He is a douchebag. Side note. I would not warn my younger self against marrying him, because although it was miserable, I learned many valuable life lessons and gained lifelong friends. Story 13. Keep going. It will be hard, but everything will work out fine, and you are a better man for it. Story 14. Get off social media and live your life. Be single for a while. You will be okay. Story 15. Beware October 2nd, 2025. It would be pretty funny to fuck with my young self that way. Story 16. Leicester to win the 2015 to 2016 Premier League at 5,000 to 1. Story 17. Do not do it, and do not apply it broadly to every impulsive action. Story 18. For the love of God, please finish your schoolwork. More importantly, make it a habit. You are not going to finish the work once it is late. Do not ask for extensions unless you are completely sure you will finish and submit it by then. You could do great things, but no one will acknowledge that if you cannot finish what you have started. Story 19. If it is not obvious investment advice, you probably have attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. Story 20. Buy Bitcoin as soon as you hear about it. Story 21. I'd like to be gentler with myself about my choices because, in retrospect, they weren't that bad. Story 22. You are not as special as you think you are. Put in more effort. Story 23. Stop hanging out with her. If it's so easy to send a breakup text, why are you still seeing her? Story 24. Get out of your hometown. They are not your friends, no matter how much you want them to be. That place did damage you will not understand until years later. Leave sooner. Heal faster. Story 25. Don't call yourself fat. You are a size 2 and will weep for these days in your 18-year-old body. Story 26. Buy all the Apple stock you can. It was 30 cents a share when I was 18. It is now $260. Story 27. Grasp the allegory of the cave early so you can see why humans keep shooting themselves in the foot. Story 28. Tell him no and tell him to get lost. Then go enjoy yourself in the 90s. Story 29. The people around you aren't there to make you happy. Find happiness by doing the things you love, not by relying on others. Story 30. Buy Bitcoin, sell a portion in 2 years, sell another portion 3 years after that, and sell the remainder 5 years after that. You will be fucking minted. Story 31. Your family has not been able to overcome their own issues. Do not allow them to drag you down. They will try when you move into your own home, at your wedding, when you have your first child, and when you start a business. They will spin your experiences to paint themselves as the victim. Their resentment stems from their own inadequacies, not from what you have achieved or your independence. Love your life and your wife and raise your children to be better than you. When the time comes, act. That is on them, not you. Get out now. Story 32. Do not date anyone until you meet a man with your future husband's name. Story 33. Talk to your professors. You need them to write letters of recommendation for graduate school. Story 34. Your talents will be wasted in chemistry. Pursue a career in quantitative finance, whatever that is. Story 35. Create cozy spaces wherever you live. They will save your mental health more than you know. At 18, I thought having a cool minimalist apartment was everything. I had no comfortable spots to relax, decompress, or feel at home. It took me years to realize that having a designated cozy corner, with soft lighting, comfortable seating, and some books and blankets, is not just about aesthetics. It is about giving yourself permission to rest and creating a physical space that supports your emotional well-being. I wish I had started building these little sanctuaries earlier instead of trying to impress people with stark, uncomfortable living spaces. Story 36. Everything you believe is wrong. You are an incorrigible racist, a little piece of shit, but you will get better. Story 37. I'm sorry you're feeling this way. Are you thinking about hurting yourself or in immediate danger? If so, please call emergency services now, for example, 911 in the United States. In the United States, you can also call or text 988 for the suicide and crisis lifeline. If you are in the United Kingdom or Ireland, you can call Samaritans at 116 123. If you are elsewhere, contact your local emergency number or a nearby crisis line. I can help find local resources or stay with you here. Are you safe right now? Real talk. I would tell myself not to call the ambulance that night and let myself die. These 5 years have not been any better. Story 38. Don't stress so much about what everyone else thinks. Focus on learning, making mistakes, and enjoying the ride. It all works out in the end. Story 39. Do not help anyone who would not do the same for you. Use that time to work for yourself. Story 40. Get your education, move out, and get away from your crazy sister sooner rather than later. Story 41. In 2016, some seemingly unelectable clown is going to run for president and somehow win. Avoid the angst and disbelief. Accept that you will be there when the unthinkable happens. Adams, Jay, Hamilton, Jefferson, and Mason et al. Had a good run, but you will be there at the end to see their system collapse. Story 42. This is where I was on the spectrum at 18. It was a very big turning point in my life. He will be the one, but do not rush moving in together. Go to school and actually try. Start cooking at home and eat out less. He will die at 37, so make him go to the doctor sooner so maybe you two will have longer together. The first baby will be stillborn. The second will be born early and blue from lack of oxygen. But it will all be okay in the end. Your last child will be a spitting image of him. He will provide comfort when you need it most. Now do not be dumb and go buy Apple, Google, Bitcoin, and Amazon, and when a company called Tesla comes out, buy that too. Make your mom go to the doctor the instant she begins complaining about the pain. Do not let her marry him, and tell her not to get the first divorce when you are 20. She needs that medical insurance to save her life. You are so much stronger than you can ever imagine. Story 43. Forgive your dad. Hug him. Ask him all the questions you can. Do the same for your grandfather. Push your dad to see a doctor regularly for checkups. He will have stage 4 cancer and die 6 months after you take him to get help. Tell your grandfather to lose weight and take care of himself so he does not have a heart attack and dies 1 month after your dad, leaving your grandmother alone. Story 44. Why would I send a message back a year? That makes no sense. I could instead tell my past self to try to save someone who affected me greatly from taking their own life. Story 45. Do not do it. Apply this advice broadly to nearly every impulsive action. Story 46. Probably one of the money ones. People have already told me that as life advice. I would not pay any more attention to a random note. Story 47. Do not make a pipe out of that light bulb when you find Pop's hidden stash. Story 48. Wake up. You are not in Wonderland. Do something for your future. Life is not as easy as you think. You are not that smart or a genius. Yes, you can do great things, but only if you treat them as seriously as they deserve and are willing to put the effort into them. And last but not least, fuck you, and more love to you. Story 49. Put all your money into Ripple, formerly known as OpenCoin. Start there. Story 50. Buy Microsoft at the initial public offering and invest each extra penny you earn. Story 51. Buy the Bitcoin your crazy friend told you about. Everything will be okay. Story 52. Here is who will win every major sporting event. Go bet your life savings. Story 53. Get your career in place before you have children, and buy this weird-sounding thing called Bitcoin the moment it came out in the mid-2000s, even if it sounds silly. Buy as much as you can. Stay close to your parents. Story 54. You still don't know what you're doing at my age. You just get better at hiding the panic. Story 55. Buy Yahoo and Amazon when available, even if you have to borrow. Story 56. Believe your gut instincts. You are almost always right. Cherish your family even more than you do now. They will be there for you when others are not. Never settle for just any man. Do not stress as much about what others think of you. Everyone has problems and skeletons. Story 57. Keep on truckin'. I have children, and I would not want to change anything that would prevent me from having them. Story 58. Force mom and dad to stop smoking today. Story 59. Fuck your Roth individual retirement account. Spend it all on Bitcoin. Sell and become a billionaire when Bitcoins are worth $50,000 each. Story 60. Let him go. I followed a man across the Pacific Ocean to a state where I didn't know anyone. I stayed with him for 10 years and married him, only to find out he had been cheating on me for 7 of those years. I should have let him go and stayed to pursue my own dreams. Story 61. From 2025, skip college and attend an information technology technical school. Buy Cisco now and sell in March 2000. Buy Amazon in 1997. Buy Apple and Google in 2004 and hold. Mine Bitcoin in 2010 and hold. Liquidate and move to a broker in the first week of September 2011. Then wait 30 days to reinvest. Story 62. Honestly, the main thing I would change at 20 years old is not letting the dealership and my mother talk me into the $3,000 car warranty. Story 63. Listen to no one and plow your own path. The advice you are currently receiving comes from a good place but is tailored to a different person living in another time. Story 64. In 2 years you will hear about Bitcoin. Buy it, mine it, and never sell it, no matter how broke you are after college in 2011. Story 65. Nothing. I have 2 wonderful kids and do not want to do anything that could change that. Story 66. Do not hesitate. Take the job in France or go traveling around Australia. Story 67. Exact date, time, and location of my father's death from a heart attack. Story 68. Buy Amazon stock when it becomes available. It was $18 per share when it went public in 1997. It now trades at $222 after several stock splits. Story 69. A comprehensive list of all future events and which stocks to buy. You said a message but did not say how long. Story 70. Go to the university you wanted to attend, even if it is on a different campus. You can transfer later. Do not expect anything from anyone again, or you will end up like me. Story 71. Don't take your teenage life so seriously. High school and the people you meet there don't matter. I would say focus on your studies, but you are a teenager, so do what you want. I can't expect you to do everything. Life is much more than that. Don't waste your time online. In 2022, you are going to meet the love of your life. Make sure you are in your current job before September 2022, that your credit is good, and that everything is paid off. Work on how you treat people and on socializing so you will have one less thing to work on by age 32. Good luck. It's okay to have fun, but if your gut says don't do it, just follow that. Don't waste your time on relationships until you meet the person I told you about. She is perfect for you and she will blow your mind. Also, it's okay to be a virgin later in life. Don't do it for religion or for what others think. I promise you will enjoy experiencing it all with her. Story 72. Start mining Bitcoin as soon as you hear about it. Hold until you are at least 50. Story 73. You do not need to be friends with her again. Just let it go. Story 74. Tough choice. Give stock advice to get rich, or tell my younger self to get cancer screening in my mid-20s to avoid being diagnosed after age 30 with an incurable stage 4 cancer that would significantly shorten my life. If I were rich, I could at least enjoy life and whatever time I have left instead of struggling paycheck to paycheck on disability. But of course, not having a terminal cancer in the first place would be best. Story 75. Avoid dating tattoo artists. They are chaotic, narcissistic, and often cannot pay their bills. Story 76. Leave the country now. You want to leave anyway. You have no obligations other than your parents and family. They will understand in about 17 years. Kick anywhere but here. Story 77. Do not attempt anything you did between May and August of 2023. Story 78. Leave him now. It does not get better. In fact, it gets much worse. Also buy 1 Bitcoin or 5. Story 79. Friends come and go. Family stays. Focus on yourself and pursue the trade you wanted before it's too late. I'm not saying it's already too late, but doing so could help you get your life together and reduce financial stress. Story 80. She is not the one, and neither will the next several dozen be. Do not stay with anyone just because you find them physically attractive. Invest in stocks listed on the National Association of Securities Dealers Automated Quotations. Story 81. Don't get your master's degree. Invest in property as soon as possible. Story 82. Study harder and graduate. Do not be lazy with your friends who do not contribute. Invest in Bitcoin in 2010. You can do it. Story 83. Go to university and earn a degree in any field. It does not matter which one. I have noticed that many larger companies look for candidates with a degree, even if it is not directly applicable to the job. Also consider buying Apple and Microsoft stock. Story 84. Get your passport and get out of Dodge. In 2 years, you will really wish you had left. Story 85. It would be blank. Let me live my own life. We have had a blast so far. Story 86. In this thread, everyone is unsatisfied with their financial reality or worse. Story 87. People who tell others to buy stocks or Bitcoin should also probably tell them when to sell. Story 88. Antidepressants and caffeine are miracle drugs. Check them out. Story 89. Take studying seriously and you will not end up where I am now. You will thank me later for it. Story 90. You will never love another soul as much as you love her. Stop focusing on all the things you lack and learn to be someone worthy of being in her light. Story 91. I do not care if it is $50. Save money and consult my advisor. It may disrupt the space-time continuum, but who cares? Story 92. Stay away from them. They are not your friends. Instead, live your life for yourself. Story 93. Kelly is going to leave you, and there is nothing you can do about it. She cheated on you, and after March you will never see her again. The details do not matter. Move on. Better things will come when you finally let go. Story 94. Be skeptical of your opinions and begin observing your own awareness. Story 95. Listen to your brother. Buy that very cheap Bitcoin now. Story 96. Buy Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Netflix, Google, Bitcoin, and Nvidia, and invest heavily in real estate at 3%. Trust me, dude. Story 97. Do you remember the 18-year-old nerdy boy your friend introduced you to? He is in a bad place, so talk to him soon. Story 98. Yes, just Bitcoin. Having 1,000 Bitcoins right now would right every wrong in my life, laughing out loud. Story 99. It is called snapping tricep syndrome, and it likely resulted from being pulled out of the tree and hitting the ground. Do not stop complaining, and do not have them fused. Story 100. I've just turned 17 today. Let's see. Prepare for the army and get a girlfriend already. Story 101. She is not your friend. End it now and never believe her again. It will hurt for a bit, but your life will be better. Story 102. I'm 19, so I'd say a year made a big difference, and you're living the dream now, laughing out loud. Story 103. Do not go see the stars. You are going to get arrested for using acid alone in the middle of nowhere. Story 104. A list of items to invest in, and a reminder to avoid sleeping with a particular woman who will remain unnamed. Story 105. Hey, dumbass. This is you from the future. Do not go to the Art Institute. It is a scam. Go to community college instead. Story 106. Stop using cannabis, stop drinking alcohol, and avoid unhelpful social circles. Become sober and enter a recovery program. Learn to type. Enroll in school and study coding, computer science, and data analytics through the doctoral level. Buy shares of Google, Amazon, and Apple, and buy and hold Bitcoin. Story 107. Do not view your flaws as mistakes. They are life lessons. You will always be okay if you value yourself. Avoid people who make you feel less than. Story 108. Do not go to that house. Do not start smoking weed with those so-called friends. It will ruin your life for the next 15 years. Story 109. I would mention a major future event that will confirm this message is true. Then tell them to invest heavily in Apple, Bitcoin, Nvidia, and other similar assets at the appropriate times. Tell them to stop trying to live a traditional life. Things are going badly, and you may not make much progress. At least with the money you can leave the United States with our dual citizenship and live a very good life elsewhere. Story 110. Whatever you do, spend your money on something called Bitcoin. Story 111. May 28, 2016, Cincinnati Zoo. Do not let the child fall in or let anyone shoot Harambe. Story 112. Break up with the woman who made me wait years to have sex and who disapproved of my using psychedelics. I could have been with someone willing to have sex like other people in high school. I wanted a partner to take psychedelics with, or at least someone who would be okay with me doing them. Story 113. Don't settle. Wait for a nice, kind person who is interested in birds, plants, fish, stones, and water. Story 114. Your father loves you, and you should spend more time with him. Story 115. What are the parameters of the message? Does it have to be text? Can there be images? Can there be audio? Is there a word count? Is there a character limit? Is there a sentence limit? Story 116. It will feel too late someday. Enjoy life, but do not go into the arts. I know it is tempting. Story 117. If executing a choice feels like dragging yourself through a hostage situation, you have chosen poorly. Back out and choose differently. Listen to that instinct. It will save you energy, money, and pain. Story 118. She doesn't love you. Stop making excuses for her abusive behavior. Story 119. Do not get married at 23. He is abusive and controlling. The next 20 years will be hell if you do. Story 120. Take better care of yourself. Consider a preventive mastectomy even if you have no family history. Cancer is terrible and can ruin your life, but you will get through it for now. I do not know the future. Grow up a bit and finish school in a practical field. Take more risks with jobs. If you are not good at choosing partners, consider giving up dating early. Get a nice apartment and live with your friends like the Golden Girls. Save money. Story 121. Do not start drinking to numb the pain. Seek therapy instead. Story 122. One message. I will interpret this as a letter or an email. Hey kid, your parents are going to get divorced this year, and soon you will stop believing in your religion. That is okay. You should believe in yourself. Your mom is going to need your shoulder to cry on for the next year or two. But do not let that stop you from moving forward. You have a calling, and it is going to keep calling. Get a job and go to college, but whatever you do, keep writing and learn how publishing works. Stop obsessing over every girl who shows interest. You will meet the love of your life someday, but you have to learn to love yourself before you can be truly happy in a relationship. Sincerely, future you. Postscript. Here are some investment tips for the late 90s. Story 123. I wasn't really in a position to change much, but I would tell myself to pursue an engineering degree. It's not that the math is terrifyingly hard. It's that high school finals focus on impractical material, and my teachers were objectively poor. Story 124. Take advantage of how well your body is doing right now. It is going to go downhill sooner than you expect. Story 125. Under no circumstances leave your beer unattended around girls named Meg or Naomi. Story 126. Leave him. Get the admin apprenticeship now and do not quit. Also get your license. Story 127. I was fortunate that my parents paid for most of college right after high school. I wasted time, partied hard, and changed majors 3 times at 3 different colleges. Liberal arts, engineering, then business. I went back again 7 years later. Given those opportunities, my advice is to keep your nose to the grindstone in college and don't pick a major that is worthless without a doctorate, such as marketing or anthropology. I was still able to retire at 59.5 years old, but without that messing around my net worth would be twice what it is now. Story 128. There is no way 18-year-old me would have listened to the advice of some old man. Story 129. It was never your fault. Parents should never be jealous of their children, and you are enough. Story 130. Buy gold and silver on credit cards. Max out the cards. Story 131. Considering that was only 5 years ago for me, it would probably be something like get the hell out now. Things just get worse. Story 132. Do not let our parents sell that Disney stock they got for you until the company owns practically everything in 2025. Also, sell all your classic Disney video home system tapes on eBay before they go missing after the move. Tell mom not to sign the papers dad gave her and to withdraw as much money from the joint account as possible before 2015. Definitely go ahead and buy 1 Bitcoin for £600. It will pay off. You are going to do a great job regardless of my advice. Keep trusting your instincts and your strength. You make us a bad motherfucker. I love you. Story 133. Here are the lottery numbers. Wait until Azul 4, Azul Lin has Arius Intelligentes SA, reaches 0.60 Brazilian real, then by a large amount. Trust me. Don't worry. Story 134. Make it 17, and I'll say, the army isn't for you and start talking to women. Story 135. I would not say anything because by that point I am taking very boring classes that serve no purpose for my current job. Story 136. Bro, it's you from a few years in the future. Bitcoin is worth over $100,000 right now. You would be set. Here are the lottery numbers, but not so many that it attracts attention. Story 137. Invest in potash. When BRIEX implodes, put everything into precious metals and leave it there. Story 138. Buy lots of Bitcoin and invest in stocks that could make you a lot of money, such as Netflix and Nvidia. Story 139. Believe in yourself, including acknowledging your own pain. Story 140. Here are the lottery numbers for when you turn 19. People who watch time travel in the future will be paying attention. Keep a low profile when you win. Act surprised. Story 141. Leave him and wait until 2022. You are going to like what is in store for you. Story 142. I was permitted to send a message, but knowing myself, I will not listen until it is too late. Fuck off me. Story 143. AK is very cute, but she is toxic. Do not ignore the red flags. Story 144. Do not let that guy move in with you. He's only interested in using your sympathy to get free food, free rides, and deeply discounted housing. Story 145. Be at this bar in New York City on this date in 2012. Everything gets better afterward. Story 146. Your parents and doctor were wrong. It is attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, and it is only going to get worse. Story 147. Invest the maximum you can into a Roth individual retirement account and some solid growth funds. Buy Apple early. Story 148. Invest in Apple then Bitcoin. Hold both until fall 2020. Find a girl named Name. She is the love of your life. Be yourself. Story 149. Do not date that narcissistic son of a bitch. Although I know it is impossible, I wish I could keep my children as they are but with a different father. Story 150. Transition now. Waiting 5 more years is unwise. Nobody cares at some point. Story 151. Fuck having a relationship. It is fruitless. Just enjoy life and stay single. Do not bother with strangers. They do not care about you, and you should not care about them. If people resent you just for living your life, resent them in return by continuing to live. If you interact with another human, keep records and do not trust them fully. Do not believe every word they say. Do not assume they are good. They are rotten like everyone in this world. Story 152. Invest as soon as much as possible in Apple, Microsoft, and Bitcoin. I would need to research a few more. I was 18 in 1986. There was plenty of room to make money. Story 153. You have atrioventricular nodal reentrant tachycardia and an atrioventricular node defect. Make the doctors listen to you. Arrange surgery to correct it as soon as possible. Story 154. Do not switch schools. Stay away from your parents as much as you can. As soon as you finish school, travel a lot, get in shape quickly, and avoid men until you are 29. Thank me later. Story 155. Do not waste time at community college. Enroll directly in a welding program, but do not go out on the road right away. You will burn out quickly and come to dislike it. Story 156. Buy Apple Incorporated, Tesla Incorporated, NVIDIA Corporation, Meta Platforms Incorporated, and as much Bitcoin as possible and hold those assets. Cash out call options in mid-January 2008 and mid-January 2020. Reinvest immediately afterward and buy long-term equity anticipation securities. Story 157. You are in a cult. Get out now, even if it means you have to live in a shelter for a while. Story 158. Your father loves you in a way you will never realize until you become a father yourself. Story 159. Tell mom you are not going to college. You are not ready. You have wasted money and become pregnant. Go to a trade school, earn enough to move out, and then plan your future. Stop listening to her. Story 160. Buy Bitcoin, Amazon.com, Inc., Meta Platforms Incorporated, Tesla Incorporated, Advanced Micro Devices Incorporated, NVIDIA Corporation, Broadcom Incorporated, Microsoft Corporation, Apple Incorporated, and Alphabet Incorporated with sell dates. Story 161. Don't waste your time with your ex-wife. She is not your princess to save. Dad is not your problem. He will self-destruct. September 29, 2001. Lotto numbers. Build an investment portfolio immediately, including Google, Amazon, Apple, and Microsoft. Buy land in southern Tennessee. Make friends with your wife's family. Buy Bitcoin when it is considered a joke. Hold it for at least 5 years and sell some if you need to. Hold the rest until it exceeds $100,000 per coin. Story 162. Don't bother chasing that one, he's gay. As a friend, he's fine. As a boyfriend, he's not. Story 163. She is more attractive than you can imagine. You will love her more than anything. Be patient. Story 164. Specific details of the past 2-year gold versus United States dollar price movement and the concept of infinite money. Story 165. Always the answers. 1. Buy this stock. 2. Prevent tragic events from happening. Story 166. Take therapy seriously and be honest before making any major life decisions. Story 167. Buy Bitcoin. Study English. That career path is not for you. Story 168. Just do it. Do not be afraid, you cannot know what the future holds. Do not do something simply because you think it is the norm. Story 169. Do not let fear rule you. You are bright and capable. Your family has gaslighted you. I lacked confidence. I learned, but it took a long time. Story 170. You will not die. You will escape. You will fade into nothingness. Your life will be amazing. Story 171. Do not sell Apple Incorporated despite it being an alleged fraudulent reporting entity. Story 172. The job you just took is something you will be doing in your 30s. Think about it for a while. Story 173. Your daughter needs you. Please do not kill yourself. And Bitcoin. Story 174. Tell hell on wheels to go fuck herself. 18-year-old me wouldn't have understood it, but a few years later it clicked. It would have saved a lot of trouble. Story 175. Have more confidence in yourself and your standards. Do not talk to those loser guys. Story 176. I was 18 almost 2 years ago, and I do not think I can say much has changed in my life since then. Story 177. You deserve better than you believe you do. Sure, I could say to buy Apple stock or Bitcoin. Money would be great. But saving myself from the heartbreak caused by falling in love with men who treated me like I wasn't worth anything would be better for my soul. Story 178. Buy Bitcoin. Don't sell it. Don't do drugs because they're too much fun and you'll just want more when you're done. Except weed. It's okay. But it gives you a bit of anxiety, so don't overdo it. Story 179. If you get the chance to go home to visit a week earlier than planned, take it. Do not miss your chance to say goodbye to dad. Story 180. Do not date the alcoholic architect. He is lying, girl. Run. Story 181. Get a job and keep it. Start contributing to retirement savings now and do not spend the money. Story 182. Lottery numbers. Invest in Bitcoin. Be patient and do not give up on Serena. Finally, when traveling through Louisiana, do not trust that shack restaurant and stick with fast food. My stomach is still not right. Story 183. Stay away from the doggy daycare. I became deaf while working there. Story 184. Buy a house with your pocket change. It will pay off later. Story 185. She is going to tell you that she was kicked out of her friend's apartment. Ignore her and go do a couple more keg stands. Story 186. Keep doing what you want. You know why you do it. Those are good reasons. Remember to look up from yourself every now and then. Story 187. Go to college. Girls named Evelyn are not an option. Keep working out. Do the paperwork now. Talk to both of your grandfathers before it is too late. Story 188. Do not scoff at the database administrator who asks you what you think of Bitcoin in 2009. Buy as much of that asset as you can the day he asks you that question. Story 189. Do not sell any Bitcoins you obtained through Silk Road for $130 each. Thanks a bunch for sticking around till the end of the video. Remember to subscribe, and until next time, stay awesome and goodbye.